Hello Year 2, it's Miss Buckley and I'm going to be going through your science lesson for today. So your learning question is, how well can we change the shapes of some solid objects? Your steps to success: I can perform simple tests, I can gather and record data to help with answering questions, and I can vocalize what I have learnt. So let's get started. So what do these words mean? Transparent. What does this word mean? Tell me. The word transparent means that you can look through it. So if you have a material and the material is transparent, that means a light does go through that material. You can see straight through it. What about this word? Translucent. What does that mean? Tell me. Translucent means that you can see a little bit through it. So if you have a material and you describe that material as being translucent, that means light goes through that material just a little bit. You can see through that material just a tiny little bit. What about this word? Opaque. What does the word opaque mean? The word opaque means that you cannot see through it. So if you have a material and you describe that material as being opaque, that means that light does not go through it. You cannot see through that material. Well done, Year 2. Now I want you to have a look at the pictures that I have on the screen. I have a picture of a ball, of planks of wood, of rocks. I have coins. I have a mug, and I have a wooden table. And I am going to describe these objects as being solid. These are all solid objects. Now, what do you think I mean when I say a solid object? What is a solid object? A solid object is an object whose shape cannot be easily changed. So if I was to hold the rock in my hand, I could squeeze the rock really, really tightly with my palm and my fingers. I could pinch the ends of the rock, and the shape of it will not change because it is very solid. It is very hard. That is what we mean by a solid object. So this is your first task for today, for today's science. I would like you to have a go at making Play-Doh. And below the picture is a link, and as usual, you can find the link on the remote learning timetable. Just click the link and it will show you a step-by-step video of how to make Play-Doh. All you need is flour, cooking oil, water. If you have food colouring and you would like to make the Play-Doh a different colour, you can absolutely add food colouring, but you don't have to. So the only ingredients you need is flour, water and oil. When you've finished making your Play-Doh, I want you to have a go, just play with it as you normally would, and describe the things that you are doing to it. So when you have it in your hands and you're pushing your fingers and your palms together, what are you doing to that Play-Doh? When you have the Play-Doh between your fingertips and you're rolling your fingertips, what are you doing to that Play-Doh? Okay, so think of the words that you are doing. Think of the different things you are doing as you are playing with that Play-Doh. Off you go. Fantastic. Did you have fun? I'm sure you did. It's amazing playing with Play-Doh. So when I was playing with the Play-Doh that I made, I saw that I was squeezing the Play-Doh. I also noticed that I was rolling the Play-Doh. I was twisting the Play-Doh. I was able to stretch the Play-Doh. I was also able to bend the Play-Doh. So the Play-Doh is very, very flexible. That's another word that we've learned in our science lessons. It's very, very flexible because I could mold it to any shape that I wanted. And now I would like you to have a look at this video, and this video is going to show you the different ways, the different things you can do with your hands to change the shapes of different materials. You will find the link on the remote learning timetable. Off you go. Okay, so we are going to conduct an experiment. And during our experiment, we are going to test the different ways that we can change the shapes of solid objects. But first, we need to select our materials. And on the screen, you will see the materials that I have chosen. I've chosen paper, I have a plastic bag, I have a foam sponge, a metal spoon, and an elastic band. Now, we need to think about the ways you want to record your results. And you can choose how you want to record your results. It's completely up to you. I have chosen to record my results in a table. But you don't have to record your results in a table if you don't want to. You could voice record and explain using your words what you have found. You could use a camera and take pictures of what you're doing, or ask someone to take pictures of you while you're carrying out your experiment. Equally, you can draw pictures of you doing your experiment. You can write sentences. It's completely up to you. But as I said, I'm going to record my results in a table. And on my table, the first column, I'm going to write the objects. So I have paper, a bag, a sponge, a spoon, and a band. Then I'm going to write the materials. The paper is made out of paper, the bag is made out of plastic, the sponge is made out of foam, the spoon is made out of metal, and the band is made out of elastic. And then I'm going to test whether I can squeeze the objects. If I can squeeze it easily, I think I'm going to do a tick. If I can't squeeze it easily, then I'm going to do a cross. But equally, I could write yes or no. Then I'm going to try and bend it. If I can bend the objects, I'm going to do a tick. If I can't bend the objects, then I'm going to do a cross, or I can write yes or no. I'm going to twist it. If I can do it, I will write yes or do a tick. If I can't do it, I would write no or do a cross. Then I'm going to test if I can stretch the object without it breaking. If it doesn't break when I try to stretch it, I would write yes or do a tick. If it does break while I try to stretch it, or if it doesn't move at all, I would write no or do a cross. Off you go and start experimenting. Was that fun? I always love science. I love doing super experiments and figuring out lots of different things. So here are my results. You can see that the paper, I was able to squeeze it, I was able to bend it, I was able to twist it, but I wasn't able to stretch it. It couldn't get longer. The bag that was made out of plastic, I was able to do everything with it. I was able to squeeze it, bend it, twist it, and stretch it without it breaking. The foam sponge, I was able to squeeze it, I was able to bend it, I was able to twist it, but I wasn't able to stretch it. When I tried to stretch it, it just broke and it split in two. The spoon that was made out of metal, I wasn't able to do anything to it. I couldn't squeeze it, I couldn't bend it, I couldn't twist it, and I couldn't stretch it. It wouldn't move, it wouldn't budge. But the elastic band that I had, I was able to squeeze it, I was able to bend it, I was able to twist it, and I absolutely was able to stretch it. So, I want you to look at your results now. And I want you to analyze your results. So that means I want you to look at your results and figure out, what do you notice? What materials were you able to squeeze, bend, twist and stretch? What materials couldn't you stretch? What materials couldn't you bend? What materials couldn't you twist? Pause the video and off you go. Well done. Now your last task, if you remember, right at the beginning of our topic, you completed a KWL grid. In that KWL grid, you wrote what you already know about the suitability of materials and what you wanted to know about the suitability of materials. Now, you're going to fill in the last column and you are going to write what you have learnt about the suitability of materials. Off you go. Well done, Year 2. I'm super proud of you. That is the end of our topic. So that is the end of us learning about the suitability of materials. And after half term, we will be learning about plants. So we will be investigating and finding out all the different things that plants need to grow.